Before you boil me alive for making this Xbox rant, I have a thing. I've been an owner for this Series X since 2021, and basically since then it's been lying as a paperweight. To be fair, I think this is going to be my last console which I'll buy from Microsoft. It, funnily enough, is the first as well. Damn, this thing is heavy. Let me actually put it like this. Why I decided to make a rant over Xbox is because this company has no vision for this console. Everyone which is running this Xbox division brand in Microsoft is run by incompetent fools, trend chasers, and they basically throw money in a burning pit, trying to salvage a situation that could have been avoided. So let's jump into today's topic, why Xbox is rotting away. Hello everyone, Chris back again with you in Gaming Zone. Yes, this time I truly chosen to create this Xbox rant after all, following the recent events with the studio's closure, games cancellation and overall incompetent leadership over at Xbox. Truth to be told, this is my first ever Xbox console, and as I've said in the intro, it's probably gonna be the last as well. The current state of this platform has no vision for the consoles, and the situation is not great at all for this generation. Instead of focusing on developing a good portfolio, they are chasing trends, failing to advertise products, and using money as an adhesive to save a sinking ship. The most painful thing is that they can fix this, but the incompetence is too high up there. Let's have a discussion about Xbox and its current form. So I bought this bad boy back in 2021, right about where the whole shortage thing was happening for this thing. And the main reason really was that I wanted to play the exclusives, and I really waited for some cool projects to drop. For example, I was really into Forza Horizon 5, as I said before. I really enjoyed those racing games. Honestly, revisiting other games such as Need for Speed later down the line, it really feels like you're driving a tank, while in Forza you're actually driving properly, you could do cool races, just overall exploring the world and having fun. I've been enjoying things like Forza Horizon 5, some Halo games from the Master Chief Collection, and Gears of War as well, the older ones of course. I knew what I signed up after all, since this department was quite weak ever since the Xbox One dropped. But I did bit the bullet to try some of these projects out. Can't let a previous disaster dictate the brand after all. It's been nearly 11 years since all of that happened. However, as you might know, Xbox decided that exclusives are no longer the key and just went off the rails with whatever plans they have to make an, quotes, ecosystem. That is basically one important part that throws the experience out the window. So I bought this lovely thing, thinking that I could get some pretty cool games out of Xbox Studios. After all, they bought Bethesda and recently they bought Activision as well, so I thought they could actually deliver some pretty cool ideas, some pretty cool projects that I could play. One actually happened, it was Hi-Fi Rush, but as you could hear by the tone of this voice, the studio which made this project was closed. I'll be discussing this later down in the video, but yes, I basically bought this thing for games and unfortunately I received nothing. And what else? It's only Starfield, Redfall, which failed miserably. Oh, and Hi-Fi Rush, which I really enjoyed, but the studio which created it was closed. Man, it's a real bad time to be enjoying exclusives for Xbox, let me tell you that. I knew what I signed up after all, since this department was quite weak ever since the Xbox One dropped. But I did bit the bullet to try some of these projects out. Can't let a previous disaster dictate the brand after all. It's been nearly 11 years since all of that happened. However, as you might know, Xbox decided that exclusives are no longer the key and just went off the rails with whatever plans they have to make an, quotes, ecosystem. That is basically one important part that throws the experience out the window. In 2021, after I bought this thingy, I also pre-ordered, well not pre-ordered, but ordered myself Xbox Game Pass, cause you know, the whole deal after the whole Xbox One train wreck, they launched a subscription service similar to Netflix to basically have games on your Xbox. And previously I thought this was a good deal. I actually ordered about 2 years worth of Game Pass. I've been playing Sandstorm, I've been playing Forza, I've been trying Gears of War as well, thanks to the catalog which Microsoft does offer you to this console. But unfortunately now, looking at it, it doesn't really offer the value which I found back then in 2021 and even 2022. I wasn't against this service the first time I purchased my Series X. It sounded and was a great idea to play games on the cheap on Microsoft's platform. However, with the time passing, the value has faded out of it, with games being pulled out, replaced by other titles I either don't like, or indies that don't really catch my attention. Price hikes especially made the value terrible, spending more money to have a worse experience than I initially had. This is where I woke up to the realization that I don't own the games at all. Lots of the games which are now introduced for this console don't really interest me. I've been mostly interested in playing their first-party games, but those have been dry, and the things they've been adding to Game Pass, it's not really my cup of tea. Most of them are basically indies, which are not my type of deal, and the other AAA ones, well, let's say they have been added, but after some time they are being removed. For example, Final Fantasy XIV, I really wanted to try that out, and once I bought it, it actually was removed from Game Pass. So basically I lost access to a game which I wanted to play, only for it to be replaced with something I wasn't really a fan of. So yeah, Game Pass for me honestly fell a lot in value, that's why I don't really enjoy this thing anymore. Rant mode is now active. I don't see any positive changes from the leadership, with each day Xbox is fading away along with its purpose. Don't get me wrong, there are fans of a brand who stick to this console since the era of 360, having their old collection playable on Series X. However, there is no incentive to buy Xbox anymore for everyone else. Performance is usually worse on Microsoft's consoles, and I've seen that with my own eyes on the PlayStation. The focus on xCloud and Game Pass services has made Xbox lose its way, focusing on things that will give diminishing returns related to profits. I can't argue that in the future these services might be a viable stream of revenue for the brand, but we have to look at the situation today. They only bleed money, as Philly himself said that during the Activision Blizzard acquisition. Right about that time I started doubting everything these Microsoft higher-ups are doing for Xbox brand. Ever since the Xbox One launch, this brand has been basically fading away. They've been trying to salvage the whole situation since Xbox One, because you might remember in 2014 that was a very disastrous launch. I actually knew since I was jumping into it that this is going to be a weaker platform, because let's be real, since 2014 incident, this has been a lovely train wreck unfolding. And unfortunately my Series X has been pretty much a paperweight. What I wanted to say is that instead of focusing on good projects for this Xbox to have good games on it, for this system to be able to sell well, they focus on nonsense like xCloud and Game Pass. Yes, those are good services, don't get me wrong, I understand that. However, we need good projects for the system itself, not to create an ecosystem. That's what I've been wanting to tell you everyone. They derailed with this, and instead of delivering good products, they started doing some nonsense that basically just makes them lose their way on this product. Even more embarrassing is them wasting money on studios left and right, Microsoft going on a buying spree. $70 billion for Activision Blizzard, a company embroiled in scandals related to employee abuse, and led by a piece of shit CEO that only thinks about yachts and mansions. $70 billion to buy the developers who made Modern Warfare 3. A pathetic failure of a product that was supposed to be a DLC. Or Bethesda, who made Fallout 76, that barely worked on launch, and delivering the generic mediocrity under the form of Starfield. Throwing money in a burning pit and a burning disaster won't save it unless there is actually good executives to take this problem, fix it down to the core, then just start growing it back. Because just throwing money away won't save it, they are still gonna burn and do nothing positive for the brand. Back again to prices. Because of these buying sprees, the company is running thin on cash. That means prices go up. These consoles are out on the market for 4 years now, and yet these haven't become cheap at all. Even that additional storage offered for Series X is quite rare, and the pricing is pretty eye-watering because of the proprietary storage. So they basically price hiked the console and also the service it provides. And let me tell you, in my country this thing sells like hot garbage. I've seen it sell for like $250, no one even wants this thing. Also, I'd like to say there are no physical games as well. Basically everyone buys this thing for streaming. So this thing right here, this CD thingy, is basically useless. Unless you got like a DVD or something which you want to, you do some playback. I guess this is a good DVD player if you really say so, but pretty much else for me it's honestly been just a streaming device. I've been watching some YouTube, and because my TV was a bit broken back then, I also used it to watch media from my USBs. What I want to say is that Xbox has a lack of vision when it comes to its console. They promise one thing, then do something else entirely. Game Pass isn't turning out to be the mighty savior. xCloud streaming thing got scrapped and thrown away in the trash. Series S is a pathetic potato that holds back the bigger Series X from shining. And exclusives are as rare as a needle in a haystack. This brand has no vision for this console. As you could see, like they started focusing less on sales. This thing was basically refreshed to be just a diskless version. So everything is focused on Game Pass instead of actually delivering great products. They've been trying to push the Game Pass, the xCloud thingy. They've been on a buying spree. But what's the point of all of this if there is no clear commitment? They say one thing, for example the Tango Gameworks studio. They say one thing like, yeah, we need these small games. Then they close the studio, then they say again like, oh wait, we actually need projects like Hi-Fi Rush. So even though you make a good project, they still cancel you because it's not good enough. Yeah, there is clearly no vision here, and that is a very big issue for this thingy right here. Hey, shut up for a second. Future Chris here, I've actually brought you some good news everyone. Krafton came in clutch and actually bought Tango Gameworks off of Microsoft, including the IP related to Hi-Fi Rush. Unfortunately, there is no future plans for actually the Evil Within 2, and sadly for Ghostwire Tokyo, cause it's only Hi-Fi Rush. But still, there are now hopes up that Hi-Fi Rush 2 would actually happen. Man, this is really excellent news. Still, this doesn't save Microsoft from actually ruining a good studio. Man, this says a lot about how Xbox is an incompetent conglomerate. Anyways, this is future me stopping the yapping, let's get back to the old one. To explain in layman terms, Series X is a PC with Xbox logo slapped on its side. Why would you buy a PC artificially limited by a company with trash experience, underwhelming software, and only working with a controller? Personally, I see it like this. A pretty good PC held down by a company with priorities set somewhere else entirely. Although I wouldn't mind running Windows 10 or 11 on the thing, that would make a bomb media center. Oh man, now that I think about it, I would love to see Windows on this thing. To sum it up, basically this thing, which I own right here, it's a PC with severe limitation, let's say. It has, I guess, a Microsoft logo right here, which, yeah, I guess it's something I suppose. But developers also lose interest in working on this PC, because basically if this thing is just a PC, with limitations, just having a controller, just having limits itself, what's the point importing games here if you have a PC or a PlayStation? What I want to ask is, what's the purpose of this thing if it's just a PC? If it doesn't have exclusives, the platform is garbage, it has drawbacks, cause I've played some games and they actually run worse on Xbox than on my PlayStation. The question is, what's this thing for then? That's my main actual point. The main problem that made me create this video is how Xbox acts when it comes to games and studios. Hi-Fi Rush was my favorite game of 2023, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Tango Gameworks created a masterpiece that was an excellent experience from start to finish. Xbox refused to advertise it, just casually shadow dropping the game during a conference. So much so for marketing. The game was so good, it even got awards and critical acclaim. Only for the studio to be closed 1 year later since that is, quote, "That's not good enough for us" type of moment. You look at this and tell me to have faith in this company. And once they closed the studio, there were some leaks that Hi-Fi Rush 2 was also in development, which honestly broke my heart. I really enjoyed the first game, I was a huge fan of it. I played it on this thing, as I said, at my office back in 2023, it was a blast. Xbox basically refused to market this thing, same thing as Senua's Sacrifice 2, and basically everything flopped. Those games flopped, they were just shadow dropped, some people reminded about them, some people didn't, so it was basically left to rot and die. Let's be real, we need proper marketing for games to sell successfully. Just posting it and shadow dropping it won't help at all. Admitting failure as a platform when acquiring Activision Blizzard also had impacted the way I look at Xbox. Microsoft calling themselves losers surely inspires a lot of hope about the future of this brand. That's not how you talk to people, Philly. Another thing which I would like to focus on is marketing. What's the purpose of buying companies, make them create cool games, as I said previously like Hi-Fi Rush, then not market the games they actually produce, just shadow dropping them like Hellblade 2 and Hi-Fi Rush. So you basically drop these things, they sell like hot garbage because you didn't care to promote them properly, you close studios, then you do rinse and repeat this process. Then you say it again, oh wait, we actually need games like Hi-Fi Rush, so we're gonna do this again. That is extremely bad look. I'm gonna be real, I was really disappointed when this studio closed because I really enjoyed their game. And the Xbox doing that honestly eroded a lot of my faith. And honestly it was the catalyst for why I made this video in the first place. A better path would be to restructure and focus on the things that matter. The experience players have on Xbox, the exclusive problem that should have been fixed a long time ago, and bringing back the positive image to the brand. It will take time, that is for sure, but it will be miles better than whatever the hell is going on with Xbox currently. So what I want to see basically is everyone at Xbox, which is their current leadership, for example Phil Spencer, they have to be let go and be fired. Honestly, they've been just driving this boat into nothingness. Ever since Xbox One, they've been trying to fix this mess. This is purest form of incompetence. They have no idea what they are doing. They've been driving this lovely platform into nothingness. Honestly, this console is great. But the way the games, the products are made for this thing is abysmal. Game Pass is really garbage value, they bought Activision Blizzard, they added some games, then they hiked up the prices. In our countries this thing is also costing higher, like what's the point of getting this if PlayStation offers you better services, or even a PC? You can buy a PC, just get PC Game Pass and that's it. That's basically a replacement to your Xbox. And honestly this is a sad fact, because after all Xbox is a good platform, this console is good, it's decent. It can play games at 4K, it can do ray tracing, but incompetent fools over at Microsoft don't know how to create products for it, don't know what to do with this platform, and it's basically been left alone, abandoned to rot and perish. That's the sad thing about it. Hey, but who am I lying to? These youths don't care. They will do whatever they want. The truth is that Xbox is fading away from interest. PlayStation absolutely wiping the floor with it in sales. My Series X has been a glorified paperweight for a couple of months by now. Me looking at it when I arrive home just to have a good night's rest. I want this thing to finally deliver good games like Hi-Fi Rush, instead of delivering garbage like Redfall, which was, let's say, average at best, that thing was barely playable at launch, or Starfield, which is peak mediocrity at best. I want this thing to succeed, and I want this thing to be worth a purchase so you could enjoy it. Game Pass is not a value for me. I want some good exclusives which I want to play in this thing. And on the radar right now it's only I think Indiana Jones. That's the only thing which really has my interest. And also Hi-Fi Rush. Its sequel has been cancelled, so that's another thing which has eroded my trust into this platform. So yeah, it's only Indiana Jones for this thing which really interests me, and that says a lot about the current state of this console. By the looks of it, it will remain like this until the next generation will arrive. I get the feeling that this sad situation won't change, no matter what those clowns say to me. So much so for giving a damn. Now to be real with you, I think Xbox is eroding away. For me personally, this thing has been a paperweight for at least about 6 months. It's honestly been on and off just to, as I say, play back some things which I have on USB, cause my TV was pretty much broken. It refused to play media, so I've been using this thing to watch my, let's say, anime, to watch YouTube or whatever. But I bought this thing to play games, not to consume media, so that is really bad. I mean, I could play some Fortnite, but without a Game Pass you could only do so much, because there is only free-to-play games, Warzone I think, and also Fortnite, maybe some others which I haven't really mentioned here, but yeah. Without a Game Pass, without actually buying pretty much expensive games, because right now here to actually buy a new game it's really expensive here in my country. Yeah, this thing is aging like hot garbage, let me tell you. And unfortunately, this thing is rotting away. People in my country have lost interest in them, others on the internet as well have stated that they lose interest. Overall, it's looking pretty gloomy for this thing down here, so I wanted to make this, let's say it a rant, about this console, cause it's really disappointing how things are turning for this console. I'd really wish for it to be better and not just rot away, be a useless paperweight near my TV, so I guess I could look at this and say, ooh, this is a lovely console, look, I got a Xbox in my house, but it does basically nothing, it's just a glorified paperweight which sits with this sticker bomb right here. Thank you for watching this upload, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you drop a like, and if you didn't, there is a dislike nearby. If you'd like to see more coverage like this, then click the subscribe button so you could see my content appear in your subscription feed. Thank you for watching, this was Chris, see you in the gaming zone. Hey man, say something about yourself. Please buy Starfield, please buy Elder Scrolls 6. Give you some Hi-Fi Rush 2. Mr. Phil actually closed the studio down. Man, fuck you. I'm sorry, bro. Bro, why did I buy you in the first place? At least I got Game Pass, bro. It's quite decent. Let me tell you, you can actually play things like Kill It With Fire. You could play Sandstorm. I can buy that for like $2 on Steam. Oh. Yeah, your sub is pretty garbage, bro. Oh.